a show today where 3 test tube made barely 2-foot 5-year-old girls raised by their single father scientist and with the strength of Greek gods viciously and brutally beat on their mainly male villains, you would get called woke. If you pitched that in 1998, your name would be Craig McCracken, the creator of one of the most iconic installments in cartoon history. Each episode, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup would bless us all with hilarious escapades, all with the same moral lesson. No matter how big, how complex your problem was, pure unadulterated violence was always the answer. So let's take a deep dive into what made the show so fundamentally great. But first, please like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you guys for all the support we've had thus far. We literally went from 1 subscriber a year ago to now a third of the way to 10,000, and I couldn't be more thankful for each and every single one of you. Don't worry guys, we're gonna keep grinding all the way to the top. Let's begin. You can't talk about Powerpuff Girls without giving flowers to the series protagonists who made it all possible. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup were out here pounding away at villainy, the likes we've never seen before. First we got Blossom. Next we got Buttercup, that's better. The short-tempered foul-mouthed tomboy who would crush your shins first, then ask questions eventually. She was my personal favorite, not only because of her appetite for absolute carnage, always taking the right opportunity to really pummel a bad guy, going so far as hiding inside a jail cell to beat up already caught prisoners.
Yeah, I like to stand outside the gate and hand out knuckle sandwiches to all the hungry inmates.
Now that's true dedication. But the other reason I admire this girl so much, guys, was that she was a hustler, born to get this paper. And even if you were a family, you were not safe from her get-a-bag mentality. Buttercup heard about the Tooth Fairy, dropping money for loosened teeth, and immediately began loosening the teeth of every villain in the tri-state area. I'm so proud because you really can't teach that shit. And when you dig deeper, you understand that she had her own make it out the hood origins to boot. That childhood trauma that really makes you a proper gangster. You see, Buttercup was never loved, always the black sheep, the middle child, the forgotten one, starting all the way at the very beginning when the professor was choosing out the names for his 3 creations. Blossom got Blossom for her direct and open attitude. Bubbles got Bubbles for her bubbly personality, and Buttercup, well,
Buttercup, because it also begins with a B.
Can't lie, justified to crash out. And finally, there's Bubbles, the epitome of love, rainbows and ponies. I'm not gonna lie, I have a soft spot for Bubbles. I mean, look at her, man.
You're the most cutest kitty in the whole world.
Aww. And usually, I hate the dainty, airheaded characters, but whenever I think of Bubbles, I just can't be mad at her. That's until I realized the Bubbles I know, the one that she shows us most of the time, is a lie. Because beneath all that cuteness and warmth is her true self, a creature of darkness and evil. So much so, it almost takes the top villain spot in the verse. Almost. Bubbles gets disrespected one time, gets called a baby by her sisters, which if we're being honest is pretty accurate, then starts doing fucked up shit all episode long, grinding her sisters into the ground, committing big time animal abuse, saying questionable things like she was offing civilians for the slightest offenses. I just know Batman is somewhere smiling like a proud father, knowing someone is carrying on his legacy of delivering life-altering brain damage. Like what she did to Mojo Jojo at the end of the episode? Man, that ain't normal. Someone called pizza cause bro got to Yamcha. Another reason why the Powerpuff Girls was that good of a show was that it had a killer rogues gallery. For me, the bad guys in PPG can go bar for bar with any cast of villains. They can tangle with Supermans, definitely tussle with Spider-Mans, and they might have something to say with Batmans too. A strange assortment of villains, from the outright pathetic to the genuinely mind-bendingly horrifying. But the man that was able to hit that sweet spot in the middle was none other than Mojo Jojo, arch nemesis to the Powerpuff Girls. I know I just spoke about how this monkey got his shit kicked in, but you guys don't remember. There were certain scenes where the willingness for evil in this primate was on full display. Like in Mojo Jojo's Rising, when he got the same powers as the girls and was whooping ass like there was no tomorrow. The brother was a monkey taking control and making an army out of other monkeys. The boy did his very own Planet of the Apes. The guy had a volcano mountain lair in Central Park. Someone tell Jesse and the kids to get out of New York. But my favorite dastardly plan of his was the creation of the Rowdy Rough Boys. Truth be told, I'm a fan of a good inverse villain. Reverse Flash, Venom, Black Adam. There's just something about these sorts of evildoers that push the entertainment of their stories to another level, and there's no better example than the Rowdy Rough Boys. I had never seen the girls take a beating like that till now. And if it wasn't for plot armor, Rowdy Rough Boys would have been the new name for the show. But no, Cooties was how the girls do them boys in. At least it's better than what Cooties does to you in the Kids Next Door universe. Alas, at the end of the day, only one villain sat atop the rest. Him. Like, how the fuck did they greenlight Satan as a children's cartoon bad guy? 8-year-old me was wetting himself in front of that TV, thinking, why is he a literal demon? That thing gave me nightmares. Claws for hands, those frills and eyes, and that truly sadistic voice.
Well, I love it when you girls fight.
I think you should fight more often.
But what made it worse was that the demon was a freak too. He was licking a mind-controlled professor. Man was so scary, even the announcer was scared to say his name, coming like Voldemort or something. Nah, we need a couple clips of him getting beat up now. No, to cleanse our minds. And the final aspect of the show I got to talk about is that it was actually funny. I don't know why, but it feels like humor has taken such a beating these last couple years. With the flopping of any comedy-specific movie like Borderlands, Fall Guys, You People, or when an action or drama tries to be funny, it just comes off as MCU humor, or where they do a lazy sex joke and call it a day. But when I was doing research for this video, watching episodes, I noticed I always had a smile on my face, constantly laughing to myself about a character or situation. Mojo Jojo was the main culprit for this. The quirk of constantly referring to himself and being a model citizen when not destroying the city was a stroke of genius by the writers.
I must attend to the dishes that I have soiled with the food that I have eaten.
Professor Utonium was another source of laughs. His fatherly but aloof personality made situations like these 10 times funnier.
He made us in his laboratory by accident.
Well, what can I say?
Don't worry, Professor. I was an accident too.
Like, the guy forced his daughters to solve him's deadly riddles, which almost killed them several times, all over $7.95 worth of pancakes. That's almost as bad as when Mr. Krabs sold SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. Finally, a special shout out to Bubbles. As evil as she could be, that girl had me rolling. That's all I got to say. Please like and subscribe. Bye.